Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, it's free, or click down here in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Traders, if you're looking for a new broker, check out CobraTrading.com/promo/StockBookie. Best in the business, been using these guys for years. If you're an active trader looking for a new broker, check out CobraTrading.com. You won't be disappointed. All right, so Facebook, 11 million on the day, 0.45% up, 78 cents green on the day. We're going right after double top here. Trying to get through it. It did make didn't make an all-time high. We came really close and it pulled right back in. So right now we're just chopping around. Actually, the all-time high was here. So we had a nice retrace inside bar coming to this little topping tail. It does not close above it. But remember, we are in earnings seasons. Will earnings drive this one up or drive it down? Netflix did go off today. We'll go over that chart in a couple minutes here. So Facebook, guys, nothing wrong. Still above the 20, the 50, and the 200 MA. Trying to get through this overhead resistance here. And just needs to chop around, guys. But it's most likely going to pause in the earnings. Not sure what the date is, but it's got to be in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye on that. If you are in a position of this, going through earnings, make sure it's no more than 10% of your total portfolio in any position to keep you safe. Money management is critical in these markets, guys, in my opinion. But daily chart, okay, stick with it, and let's see what happens through earnings. Let's go to Amazon. Amazon, guys, it was up 340 today, 0.34%. We did have about 2 million shares traded. It was a light volume day, guys, grinding up, trying to get through the 5-0 retrace here. It closed right on top of it today, and still looking at this big breakdown bar here right around 1018.76. So when this thing pulled back, gap lower, pulled back, consolidated, came down, retraced back into gap fill, right back down, getting to this little pivots here. Saved it, saved it, saved it. Slightly bearish still, but again, we're going into earnings with this one. So for all we know, guys, we could be right back here at 1080, maybe 1100, or we could be right back down here at 924 and possibly lower. So remember, money management is critical going into earnings if you're playing any of these. So just be careful. Again, 5-0 retrace right into this big breakdown bar. Going to need more volume than this 2 million when we have a breakdown bar going at about 7.5 million. Going to need more than that to push through it. That's why they're just grinding it, getting into more overhead resistance. I still think we could possibly fill gap on earnings if it does move up. If it doesn't, maybe it does a Netflix where it goes up a little bit, chops around, waits for an upgrade or a stock buyback, and then tries to figure out which way it goes. And it's funny because CNBC, pretty much every 5 minutes, Netflix at all-time highs, busts out on earnings. Netflix at all-time highs, busts out on earnings. We need a double upgrade, a stock buyback, and everything else going into news and earnings, and Netflix will possibly go up, guys. These stocks are a little bit overextended. If you go to my weekend update on the FANG, I'll show you a little bit more of the weekly and the monthly charts as well. These daily videos, we normally just go over the daily chart. So the daily on Apple, finally, guys, it starts to break out. We did fill this gap, and it did close above the 750 retrace from the Fibonacci retrace from this low to this high. So we're at the end of the road on this one, but we're going to take this out. I want to do a short-term Fibonacci from this level to this high. We know the 5-0 was right around here, right around 160. So we're in the 618, and then we have the 160.98 5-0, as well as this overhead resistance with it might be added to go to the 10-minute for a gap fill, but 161 is going to be great resistance too. Let's see if this thing can continue up tomorrow and possibly run through earnings. But it's really not coming on. I mean, a slight base. I would have liked this base to come down a little bit more and then shoot up through the moving averages. But again, bullish stance above the 50, the 20, and the 200, trying to make a breakout into earnings report, guys. Netflix, like I said, mediocre, popped up a little bit, but this is the big challenge for Apple here, as well as this upper trend line too. We got above it, came below, got above, came below. Now we're shooting back up there again. Let's see if this thing can ramp up and get going. Volume was a little bit better than the last couple days. It was 24 million, so watch for that. 1.84% or 2.89 green on the day. So let's see if we get some follow through or if we get some stalling. That's what's going to tell us a little bit more about this Apple chart. But hey, so far so good. If you are bullish, let's see what happens tomorrow with what closing price we get. And then Friday's close will be very important on Apple as well. Let's go into Netflix. First one with earnings, guys, out of the FANG. A little bit up after hours. Let's see, it just closed. We're at 262 after hours. No great shakes, guys. I mean, it was up $5-6 on the day with earnings after hours. We did go up into about the 210 area. That's where it got rejected and came right back in. So watch that area tomorrow. Actually, the high there was 210.78. So I'm going to stick 210.78 in this chart. That's where we stalled out on this trade this afternoon. So on earnings, we popped up about $7-8, hit the 210 area and pulled right back. We put a short out on 208. We're out of 3/4 of it, holding a quarter position into tomorrow. So we're a couple bucks up on the trade, no big deal, and we'll see if we get a couple more bucks and get the heck out of it tomorrow. So, but again, Netflix, you know what? We need to double upgrade. We need more buybacks and just more hype from CNBC, guys, to get this one higher. After a move like this, I showed this chart today on StockTwits. It's just too far, too far, guys. I mean, it comes in, has a nice pullback, bearish pattern, and just pops out and breaks out. I mean, let's see, back in July of 2016, this was an $84 stock, and now we're at 202. It almost feels like 1999 all over again, guys. Everything just goes straight up. And when you start getting extended from the 20 MA, this thing will come back down. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion, of course. I've seen these plays play out time and time again. These are just taking a little more time because they're tech. They're the big names. They're like the Teslas and the Googles. It's Google. That will never go down. But we'll have to see what happens in the next couple weeks here. So Netflix, guys, hey, hats off. Had pretty good earnings. And let's see if it can hold it tomorrow and see if the markets can stay green and just grind on light volume. Everything will be a market trade too, guys. SPY had 38 million with after hours action today. It was up 34 cents, just grinding and decaying puts. That is their goal for the last year. All you had to do is on every push down, just write puts and drive it up until the end expiration the following month. You'll win on every trade. I think every trade was a winner. I think you might have had 1 or 2 out of 12 that were actually losers, but all the other ones you would have won. So keep an eye on Netflix, guys. Let's see if we could get to that 210.78 area tomorrow. If not, look for a possible fade on Netflix going at the day after earnings. But we'll see. We'll see how the markets are playing out, if they're light, and it is options X2. So be aware. This is the real Shark Week. Google L up $1.48. We're running into double top resistance. We had a little bit of a tail on Friday, so watch for that. We got to get over these tails, and we got to get some more volume through here. We had a little topping tail, nothing crazy. I'd like to see bigger volume on that tail, but we had a nice breakout. I mean, this thing ran from 924 to 1,010 in like a month or so. So that's a pretty good run up into earnings. We're back in the double top, like I said. Let's see if we get a pattern sideways, possibly for another up move. We are a little bit stretched from the 20 MA, which tells me we might get a possible little pullback first before we start moving up. But again, guys, going into earnings, 50-50 shot. This thing could blast off to 1,100. This thing could drop to 900 for all I know. So let's keep an eye on the up-and-coming earnings in the next week or two, see how they're playing out, and then we'll try to play out this one on Google. We did cover our short calls on this one today, and that's about it. Or no, was it this one? Hold on. No, it wasn't Google. We're still short these calls. Doing okay, but we were in Amazon that we covered the position in Amazon for a 50% return on the option. So we've been shorting calls lately. We covered most of them. We're still in a couple last positions here on our position sheet, and so far so good. In the last probably 4 or 5 days, we went short on calls on Netflix, Baba, Nvidia, Tesla, Baidu, Google, Amazon, and then Baidu again today. And let's rinse and repeat, guys. If we can find a good trade, we're going to write them. If we get 50% or a little bit more, we're just going to cut them and just keep continuing going on and on and on. A couple of these were a little bit underwater still. Let me move this over. swing trades that are with share size. So I'm going to work some options here. I'm going to work some scalp trades, whatever I can, to make ups for some of these losers on our position sheet at StockBookie.com. So Google, again, it's okay. Let's see what we get in the next couple weeks going into earnings. For all I know, we do go, another 50 points up going into earnings. That's what these things usually do. Or maybe this time we get the drop into earnings and go from there. But again, if you go to the weekend update, you can see how stretched these things are on the weekly and the monthly, and even on the daily, it's a little bit stretched too. When they get stretched from the 20 MA, this is like the shore, this is the ocean. It tends to like to come into the shore and then retest and go back out. So again, look, so we're here, stretched, comes back, stretched, comes back, chop, 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 stretched. Guess what? Next move is going to be coming back, so beware of that. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by, watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. God bless. See you on the charts.